Alright guys, Alex here, and today we're going to talk about, besides race, looks, and height, what are the other levers that you can pull in dating? If you're Asian and not that good looking and short, are you screwed? Or is there something else that you can actually do about that? Let's start by looking at some examples from my clients. Here's John, 45 years old. By the way, I didn't mention age, but age is also a factor that a lot of guys think hold them back. So he's 45, definitely not good looking, we could say. And yeah, he's probably average height, probably like 5'9" from what I remember. But, you know, once we cleaned him up, I mean, gosh, looks like a completely different dude. And there's a huge difference between being good looking and looking good. John is not good looking, but he looks good because he wears the right clothes, he has the right hairstyle, he knows how to hold his body position, his body language, his facial expressions, right? And then also the photography, the presentation, the packaging of it all makes him look good. All right, so this is John, who went on 6 dates in 2 weeks. You can go watch his interview. Here's Bryant, who's also 35 or 36, I believe. Also not good looking. In fact, his presentation makes him look worse. His fashion makes him look worse. And you know, he's not necessarily a great looking dude, not super muscular or anything like that. He is probably a little on the taller side, I think like 5'11", but I mean, you know, with the right presentation, with the right clothing, with the right body language, with the right, you know, angle of presenting him as a person, all of a sudden, he's way more attractive, okay? And, you know, Bryant here got into a long-term relationship, his first in his entire life, but he also went on 50 plus dates in like 6 months before he met, you know, the one, right? So this is a guy that you can even see on his face. He was like so hopeless. When he came to me, he was sad all the time. And like, look at this smile, like, you know, and look at how happy she is. I'm really proud of him and really happy for him. Here's Alex, okay? This is his before. Yeah, this is his after. I mean, when I met Alex, not gonna lie, I kind of thought like, oof, this is gonna be a tough one. I don't know how much we can do here, but we did a lot. I mean, he took every single piece of advice that I gave him. His fashion got on point, presentation looks great, and we highlighted his skills like pickleball and hiking, and he leads a financial group, a FIRE group, so that's like leadership there. But anyways, also not a great looking guy, not necessarily in perfect shape. He's 5'6", and he's on the older side as well, in his late 30s. Right, so, you know, all of these guys are, well, Asian. Height's not necessarily their advantage, and certainly not looks. Now here's John, a little bit different. John is probably, you could say, a little more good looking. He is pretty muscular, although you don't just get that from nothing. You have to earn that. He's been in the gym for, you know, 10 plus years. But also, he's only 5'7", and he lives in LA. Keep in mind, he lives in LA, where everybody is 6'2", blonde, tall, jacked, has a beautiful jawline, blue eyes. Even the Asian dudes there are like somehow 6'2". I don't know how, right? I don't know which planet they came from. But as a 5'7" Asian guy, just look at the difference that the presentation makes. I mean, you know, we presented, first of all, he looks super try-hard here, which is a low-value trait for women. Whereas here, he's presenting his muscles, but in a tasteful way. And then, you know, in terms of here, it's like, okay, who is this, right? Can't even see him. Now he has a cool, like, surfing picture, awesome, adorable dog photo. Here showing him giving a speech, so that's like leadership. Here is him dancing. That's very attractive to women. And plus, his fashion is just upgraded across the board, and he went from going on like 1 date every 2 weeks to actually going on 5 dates per week. You can watch his whole entire interview here. He also recently met a girl who matched like 99% of his ideal type, so he's getting into a relationship. So I just wanted to show you some examples of guys who are not necessarily gifted in every single category. And here's the thing, I'm going to show you all of these factors, all of these levers you can pull that are not looks, race, height, or age, okay? Or even like money, for example. These are all just regular guys that I work with who have engineering jobs, IT jobs, who are lawyers or doctors or professors or whatever the case may be. But nobody is like crazy mega millionaire out there throwing money at girls or like super jacked and tall and blonde hair, blue eyes, okay? You know, we think that there's only these 3 or 4 levers that we can pull. And yeah, these are the ones that are out of our control, our height, our race, our age, right? But there's so many more. I'm gonna show you here about almost 30 things that if properly implemented, these will completely outweigh the ones that are not in your control, okay? And this is exactly what I implement for my Asian guys, because if we don't implement these, we're fucked. We are fucked as Asian men. We may as well just go somewhere in a hole and never reproduce and never have a family. So the first area that you can massively improve is physical presentation. And the fastest one is fashion. I mean, fashion gives you so many points in the looks category without you having to be good looking, as you saw from like the John example, the Brian example, okay? And can be done in one afternoon. Haircut, trip to the mall, done. You just increased by 3 points in the looks category. Physique, this is a long-term game. John has played this long-term game, for example, over 10 plus years lifting weights. That's something I recommend for every single guy, but it's not something that you can pull immediately, but it is under your control. And do you need it in order to get dates? Absolutely not, okay? It helps. John certainly kills it, and he's in a hyper competitive market like LA, but all of these guys, like Alex is in Baltimore, Bryant is in the Bay Area, and John is in Dallas, right? These guys are crushing it in their respective areas and finding love and finding dates without having to be mega, jacked like Thor. The second area is social skills. Women love social skills. You always hear about women saying like, I want him to be confident, I want him to be smooth. What does that mean? Women want things like charm, like humor, like leadership, like confidence. The guy who can handle himself one-on-one with her in a conversation that's funny, that's engaging, right? But also that he's comfortable in groups, he's leading people, he's that person who is confident in social situations. Women and men are not the same, okay? Men are primarily attracted to looks. Okay, personality comes in the back end. Women are primarily attracted to personality, and looks comes on the back end, right? They can overlook looks if the personality is like a 10 out of 10, which is what we need to do as Asian men. We need to be presenting all of these things that are not our height or blonde hair, blue eyes, and maxing those things out, right? And these things can be displayed, well, yes, on the date itself, but also through your texting. Leadership can be displayed through your photos, confidence as well, through your body language. Charm and humor can be showed through your texting and through your bio. Subcommunications. What are subcommunications? These are your body language and facial expressions. And why are they so important? Because they demonstrate who you are as a man. Imagine like a really tall, jacked guy walking into a room, but he has his shoulders hunched and he reaches his hand out to greet you and he looks down at the ground and he's not confident at all. That guy is gonna lose so many points. His subcommunications are way off, which basically are a reflection of his mindset and how he sees himself. Whereas you could have a guy who's maybe an average height, one of my Asian guys who's 5'7", but walks in the room, open chest, arm out, hey, nice to meet you, big smile, looks him in the eyes. That guy is going to be way more attractive. And guess what? Because women prioritize personality over looks, that 5'7" guy who presents his personality well is going to have an advantage over the 6'2" guy who is hunched over and not confident and kind of keeps to himself and is really quiet. Specifically here, we can take a look at, like, for example, the body language here. Hunched over, looking down. Also here, face doesn't look happy at all, doesn't look confident. Here again, hunched over, body, face is scrunched up. Here, face, eyes not even looking at the camera. Looks very unconfident. This guy entering a room does not command any presence. What about this guy right here? Winning a trophy, big smile, chest open, shoulders back. Same thing here, chest open, shoulders back, big smile. Same thing here, body language open, body language strong, commanding, right? Enjoying life. It makes a world of difference. Same guy. We didn't do anything to him. We just taught him how to show his body in a confident manner. And the thing about this is if you're taking your photos yourself, you don't actually know what you look like. And in that one snapshot, right, you have to look your best in terms of body language. If you choose the wrong photo and it accidentally communicates something negative about you, then you're screwed. Like, all 6 photos need to properly communicate all the right things about you through your facial expressions and your body language. And that's something that I actually teach in my program, Asian Online Dating Mastery, is literally having live posing practice with me in order to make sure that for their photo shoot, all of these things come across exactly correctly. Lifestyle, okay? If you're not tall or jacked or blonde hair, blue eyes, well, what about having a lifestyle? That's pretty attractive to women. You know, having hobbies, having a social life, traveling. I promise you, women would way rather date the 5'7" guy who's doing all sorts of cool things, boxing, traveling, surfing, has friends, organizing events, than the 6'2" blonde guy who sits at home in his mom's basement playing video games and never showers. These things give you so many points. So for example, let's look at John. Here, honestly, he kind of looks like a tool. He kind of looks like he just works out and doesn't have any friends or any activities going on in his life, which is why he was getting 1 date per 2 weeks. Here, he's not only well-dressed, good body language, but look at him. He's doing interesting activities, doing things that are fun and out there, right? More interesting activities, traveling, giving speeches, dancing, right? And women are following him and respecting him. Like, this version of John here is so much more attractive than this one right here. Same guy, different presentation, bringing out all of these levers that can be pulled. That's lifestyle. Okay, so we've already covered like what, 10 or 12 things here. Let's hit a big one. Characteristic traits. Again, women value personality over looks in a man. Of course, they want both. So you should try to, maximize both if you can. But guess what? We're going to focus on the things that we can control. So what are some characteristic traits that women value? Well, in general, these are masculine characteristic traits. Women are feminine. They want a masculine man. So what does that mean? Leadership, boldness, protective, risk-taking, successful, fun, social, active, athletic, tough, dangerous, ambitious. Not saying you maybe have all of these traits, but you at least have a few of these, okay? And if you don't have all of them, well, it's good to work on getting all of them because women are gonna find you more attractive. But again, under levers that you can pull, if you even can pull 5 to 7 of these levers inside of your dating profile, you're already heads and toes above everyone else. So much better than everyone else, because even if some of these guys have these traits in real life, they certainly don't know how to present them. Just like John here, right? Pretty attractive guy in real life, you could probably imagine. Online, nope, has no clue. That 6'2" blonde hair, blue-eyed guy really doesn't really know what he's doing when it comes to online, right? If he knew how to do this, oh God, he would dominate. The reason my guys have an advantage is because we know how to do this and they don't. Let's take a look at some of these traits inside of these photos. I mean, let's just, go one by one, right? Leadership, boldness, giving a speech. Again, leadership, social confidence, toughness, okay? Dangerous, protective, right? Boldness, adventureness, protective, okay? Successful, right? This kind of photo projects success and dominance, right? Same thing here. Boldness, giving a speech, leadership, right? Adventurousness, fun, right? Social, active, right? Same here. Look at this guy, winning trophies, doing Spartan race. I mean, how athletic is that? How macho, how, intense is that for a man? That's freaking awesome, right? Here, he's trying different new fun activities. He's into different cultures. I mean, look at how happy his corgi is, adventurous, he's active, well-dressed. Same thing here with John, guy riding a motorcycle. That says a lot of things about him. This guy's pretty bold. This guy's pretty dangerous. He's out there. Okay, he's not sitting in his mom's basement, hiding from the world. He's active. He plays tennis. He's, here he's kind of well-fashioned. He's also, it shows the kind of environments that he hangs out in, right? He's pretty chill. And here he's, protective. We always have a dog photo because it shows this protective side of a man that women instinctively desire. So look, there's so many of these. I mean, if you can even do 5 of these, you're going to be heads and toes above everyone else. And lastly, if this wasn't enough, if all of these was not enough, and you still think you're too short, you're too Asian, you're too not good looking, well, there's still online dating skills. Just like I said, that 6'2", blonde hair, blue-eyed guy, maybe he has all of these traits that we talked about. But if he doesn't know how to convert them into online dating, what's the point? he has no advantage over anybody. If anything, most guys underpresent themselves. Most guys, like if you're a 6 in real life, you look like a 2. If you're an 8, you look like a 4. Our goal here is to make sure that, you know, if you're a 7, you look like a 7. But chances are, if you think you're a 7, you're probably a 9, because there's things that you don't even know are attractive about yourself. And that's part of, you know, the first step of my program is sussing out all of these things in a guy that they don't even know are in there. Okay. And then later on, we develop the ones that are lacking. And then we present everything through these online dating skills. So first of all, photography, right? The right kind of photos that actually work for online dating. Nobody knows this. Nobody knows how to do this, right? People are just taking selfies, pulling random photos out of their camera roll. There is a correct type of photography that's optimized for online dating. It's different from Instagram. It's not LinkedIn. It's not family photos. It's not the portrait you took, you know, for graduation or your work. Choosing the right photos. You only get 6 blocks, okay, 6 spaces to show off yourself. And chances are you have probably a lot of photos of yourself. If you choose the wrong ones, you're fucked, okay? Because they're not going to be the best version of yourself that you could be putting forward, okay? All right, you only have 6 blocks of what I call real estate to demonstrate yourself. And here's the thing also, women judge you by your worst photo. They judge you by the weakest link. So if one of your photos is bad, has bad body language, bad subcommunication, the fashion is bad, you know, displays some negative or unattractive trait about you, you are sunk. Just like if you're scrolling on a girl, she's hot, 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 fat, game over. Right? You know that she's fat. Display yourself fully, okay? Online dating is about displaying yourself and presenting yourself well. As I mentioned, you know, you don't want to present a watered down version of yourself. You don't want to like, hey, I'm a 7, but I look like a 2. You want to be a 7 and look like a 7. And then in the long run, work on getting yourself to an 8 and looking like an 8 and getting to a 9 and looking like a 9, okay? That's what you want to do with online dating. Posing. Oh gosh. Guys don't know how to pose. Guys do not know how to pose. We don't know how to stand in front of a camera. We don't know how to take photos. Women have been doing this since they were 14 and using Snapchat. Men need to learn this skill. It's not hard, but you need to know how to do it. And that's why we do live posing practice in my program to teach guys exactly how to pose for their photos. Because I promise you, you know, we took a bunch of photos, right? For example, of Alex, but not all of them turned out good. Not all of his subcom were good in every single photo. But we picked the ones that turned out good, and because he had posing practice, he had plenty that were good. Bios that increase your value and not decrease it. Yeah, I'll show some examples, not in this video, but I have other videos about bios specifically. But basically, most guys write their bios in a way that then make them look even worse, okay? They either tell like self-deprecating jokes, or they say something weird about like how, you know, the only thing they can cook is cereal. Like, how does that make you? If you think it's funny, it's not funny, and it doesn't make you look any good when the only thing you can cook is cereal, right? So this one I won't go too much into, but again, writing bios is a skill. And lastly, texting skills, right? Even if you're, you know, the hottest thing on the planet and you're matching every single girl, if your openers suck, if you're supplicating to the girl, if you're in the wrong frame, if you're sending generic, you know, questions that she's heard a million times, she does not want to entertain that. She's already bored, right? She has tons and tons of matches. So you must absolutely go against the grain when it comes to texting to stand out against the 99%. So, you know, the reason my guys are able to have success in online dating despite being Asian and short and old and divorced and bald, all right, and not good looking, is because A, we control the things that are under our control. All of these things that we talked about, okay, all of these things, we jam-pack them into the dating profile. And B, we develop the skills that are necessary to convert on that, all right? Once you get those matches, it's not like, you know, all of a sudden you have a bunch of dates and you just have like a girlfriend. No, you have to have skills in terms of texting, in terms of going on dates, in terms of everything in order to convert these women to in-person and then into your girlfriend. And at the end of the day, you know, our goal here is not to be the hottest shit on the dating apps. Our goal here is simply to be happy. Our goal is just to get matches, go on dates, find a girlfriend, find a relationship so we can be happy. I'm not dating a Victoria's Secret model, nor do I need to be happy. None of these guys are dating Victoria's Secret models, but they are dating women that compliment them in their life, bring joy, add value to their life. Brian here might be getting married next year, right? Like, you can start a family together. This is the kind of thing that actually matters, and you don't need to be a 10 out of 10, okay? Like Leo DiCaprio or whatever, okay? You don't need to be Cristiano Ronaldo in order to find someone that you can be happy with. But if you don't know how to pull all these levers, and you're relying on things that are outside of your control, then you might be a little bit fucked. This is exactly how my guys are getting crazy results with online dating. If you also want to implement these exact things with my help, click on the link below this video to apply to work with me directly. Okay, we'll hop on a call to see if this is a good fit for the both of us. And if you're not completely sure, if you just want some more information about how exactly this all works, what exactly do you teach, Alex, go to the main video on my YouTube page, watch it through, explains everything, the 3 pillars of my program, Asian Online Dating Mastery, and how they can be applied to you. And from there, if you're sold, if you're ready to go, let's hop on a call. Let's see if this is a good fit for the both of us and make it happen. I'll see you in the next video.